April Fool's Day, the day of trolling and pranks, and Brawl Stars 2 has participated in its fair share of shenanigans. From fake update announcements, hilarious challenges, to wacky gameplay changes and skins, here is every prank the developers have pulled on the community throughout the game's history.
Let's do this.
The very first of these was in 2019 with this social media post. We've experimented with portrait and landscape, but now it's final. Brawl Stars is going diagonal with this picture attached. As you can see, you had to hold the phone diagonally for you to see it correctly, or else it would be all messed up. A little bit of context, this was a reference to Brawl Stars being played in portrait mode when it first launched, and in 2018 it went landscape. And so there was a bit of a debate on which was better, so this change was supposed to be the final one. This is gonna settle that debate. Just a year later in 2020, it had been just over a year after global launch, and a lot of the brawlers were getting remodeled, a visual upgrade compared to their 2017 models, which a lot of them still had. But there was one brawler that the community kept asking for that hadn't been remodeled yet: Pam. Now, what better way to prank the community by announcing Pam was finally getting remodeled in a post that said, "Say no more." And they posted this video with it. Yeah, Pam finally had a new look. At the time, the skin was not real, but it did eventually come out in another year for April Fools, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now, this may seem random, like why an egg? Like, what does that even mean? But apparently it was a common joke in the community that started with the first Supercell made contest where an egg bow got a lot of votes. Then after that, it became a meme for years to come. And shout out to this comment for explaining it. In 2021, they pulled a similar prank of the community announcing some new skins. The post read, "Who's up for the Brawl Stars dev skins?" with this video attached. Now, if these dev skins look familiar, that's because they are quite literally developers. Piper resembled community manager Danny. Frank resembled, well, Frank, because who else? Currently, he's the general manager of Brawl Stars. And Edgar resembles Ryan, which used to be a community manager, but now is a community lead at Supercell. Obviously, the skins were not real. I know that it's just an April Fool's joke, duh. But Supercell has a tendency to actually add things they joked about previously, or at the very least, it ends up inspiring something. But no, this one didn't go anywhere. And now we're at 2022. This year, they took a very different approach. They started with the usual social media post shenanigans. Just a totally normal day to play a totally normal challenge, which totally has nothing to do with April Fools. Now, of course, with a name and post like that, the challenge was expected to be everything but normal. The challenge was basically comprised of normal game modes, but with some wacky modifiers. Here's a list of the game modes and modifiers that were in that challenge. So, regular game modes with different modifiers, and there were some pretty sweet rewards to claim in between, so not terrible. But it doesn't stop there, because there was an in-game pop-up that said you get gems for winning the 9 matches, and you only had 24 hours to complete it. Gems? Say less. And they weren't lying about that, but it was 5 gems. The picture tweeted out that same day also had some funny Easter eggs, like El Primo being revealed to be bald, and a mysterious monument that looked really sus. Alright, moving on to 2023, this year was pretty similar to the last. It started with this post: "We fixed the bad randoms. Turn it up to 11 and listen to Good Randoms," which was a band, and the song was about good randoms. I thought it was interesting to note that this was basically the opposite of another band, Bad Randoms. Anyway, it goes on to announce a new skin that doesn't appear to be an April Fool's thing, and a challenge, the Unlimited Tries Challenge. So as you could probably tell, this April Fool's was all about playing with random players. You could not do the challenge with your friends, it had to be with randoms. Other than that though, the challenge itself wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was 8 normal matches that you had to play with randoms, and you got a cool spray for completing it, this good randoms spray. Overall, not bad, but definitely not as funny as the others. The next year in 2024, things took a turn. To my knowledge, there was no social media post about it, but there was a video uploaded on their YouTube channel. It is quite a long video, so I'll just play a clip of it. Yes, it was a collaboration with Baby Shark, a fully fledged one by the way. So in game, there was a theme change, the menu music was different. There was a Baby Shark skin for El Primo, and a whole challenge, the Baby Shark Splash, which was a 2-stage Brawl Ball challenge, so 3 wins each stage for a total of 6. And a final reward, a Baby Shark pin. Now outside of the Baby Shark stuff, there was also Poop Spike. Yeah, a poop skin for Spike. It was actually teased a month prior in a Brawl Talk for some reason, but it was finally made available for April Fools with its own pin, player icon, and spray. And they also uploaded a short video for it that I don't think you'll want to miss. I thought it was interesting to note as well that this was the first skin in the April Fool's collection. It's the one that started it all. 2025, things started out with the typical post that said, scan this for the greatest reward ever. And when you scanned it, it would take you to the supercell store, and there you could redeem an egg pin. Yeah, just an egg that spun around in different colors. This wasn't the only egg related thing. We also got 2 egg skins, Egg Pam and Egg Rico. Yeah, finally the 2020 April Fool's joke became a reality, and you could go in and buy these excellent skins on April Fool's, and it came with their own icons, pins, and sprays. And as usual, if you bought them this day, they were on discount. But it doesn't stop there. There was a trailer uploaded for these skins. And also special quests in game. One was play a match with Rico, and the other 99 with Pam. Obviously, most players completed the Rico one and didn't do the rest. You know, who on earth would do 99 matches with Pam? But you'd be surprised. Some people grinded for hours, only to find out that because the rewards were the same, the replacement reward was 1 coin. Yeah, just 1 coin. They got jokes, man, they got jokes. And finally, we're at 2026, and things kicked off with some emergency balance changes. Now, the post is quite lengthy, but there was also a video attached that basically explains all of the changes.
Dash and Slash's range has been slightly increased, with it now going through wall.
Edgar is now able to jump across the whole map and one-shot everyone. He also now has the longest range in the game. And also his healing has been increased by 1000%.
Ortiz has a major rework, now having a shotgun for his basic attack and a rocket launcher for his super. Now Pam, for her super, she flies to a target location, dropping gravitational pulse as she goes. Hank's basic is now a short hop, which has a massive explosion on land, and for his super, he does whatever the hell this is. Finally, Fang is getting a 1% health nerf? What is Adrian thinking?
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Now, of course, none of these changes appeared in-game. All the balance changes were fake. It was just a troll Brawl Talk sort of video. But there were some pretty hilarious stuff in the game. Firstly, every character's hands were huge, which in turn made anything they were holding absolutely massive. Definitely the funniest thing I've seen in the game. My favorites have to be Brock, Cole, Bo, and it actually looked like that in a game, though only in Solo Showdown because that's the only one that had the modifier, the big hands modifier. So it wasn't for every game mode. There was also a new game mode, Boss Bruce Nita, which is exactly what it sounds like. The boss was Bruce, but there was a twist. It spawned Nitas. And finally, the April Fools skins. This one had the most of any year. Inflatable Melody, Bruce Nita, and this one. I don't really know how to say that, but yeah, they were part of the April Fools collection. But yeah, that is every Brawl Stars April Fool's prank that developers have pulled on the community. I originally made this video in 2024, yes, but I've gotten requests to update it over the years, and yeah, it was long overdue. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, but hey, before you go, use some things to like this next video, so why don't you check it out. As always, thanks for watching, and have a gaming out. Peace.